The Kevin Durant curse continues. He has done it again. Another team, another fresh start, and almost instantly another disaster. The moment KD joined the Houston Rockets, their starting point guard and floor general Fred VanVleet tears his ACL and is done for the season. And just like that, the Rockets' dream season is already in jeopardy. They really had a chance to make some noise this year in the Western Conference. Every team KD has joined ever since leaving Golden State has been a complete disaster, whether it be Brooklyn, Phoenix, or now in Houston. It's like his decision to leave OKC to create a super team with his rivals is still haunting him. Because for almost a decade now, KD hasn't just been chasing greatness. He's been outrunning a curse. Before LeBron James, every superstar followed one code: loyalty. You stuck with the team that drafted you. You fought through the ups and downs. You earned your ring. And certainly never left to team up with your rivals. That was unheard of. Jordan stayed. Kobe stayed. Bird, Magic, Dirk are all legends who stayed with one team and turned their cities into dynasties. Then came LeBron James, the first player to say, "No, I'm not waiting on my franchise to get it right. I'm taking control of my own legacy." So LeBron broke the system, but he ended up mastering it. He left Cleveland, formed the Miami Heat super team, and instantly turned into a villain. But when it was all said and done, he had achieved 4 titles on 3 different teams and a legacy built on power moves that worked. Kevin Durant saw LeBron redefine what player empowerment could look like, and he thought, I can do that too. But the thing about KD, he didn't understand how strategic and calculated LeBron was in controlling his legacy. By hand-picking his next team to influencing which players would be on the roster. While Durant's moves seemed a bit more impulsive, resulting in him frequently getting traded and losing control over the trajectory of his own career. Back in OKC, Durant had it good. He was the golden child. He was a part of a young core with Russell Westbrook and James Harden, both future MVPs, a team built to run the league for the next decade. They reached the finals in 2012, but ended up losing to the Heat super team featuring LeBron James and D. Wade. Fast forward to 2016, they were up 3-1 in the conference finals against the 73-win Warriors. One more win, and Durant would have gone to the finals to face LeBron again. But they choked. KD struggled in Game 6 and 7, and Golden State stormed back and won. And this is where the timeline of the curse truly begins. Because instead of staying to rebuild and run it back with OKC, Durant made the decision that changed everything. He joined his rivals that just eliminated him from the playoffs. This sent shockwaves throughout the NBA. Not only was it viewed as a betrayal to OKC, but to the NBA competition as a whole, as the Golden State Warriors had a complete, unfair advantage. This took the term ring chaser to a whole new level, a label KD would never be able to shake off. But Durant got what he came for: back-to-back championships, finals MVPs, and historic numbers. But deep down, the victory felt hollow. Because no matter how good he was, and let's be clear, he was dominant, fans never gave him credit. He joined a 73-win team and made them unstoppable, but he didn't build that empire. And when Draymond Green famously barked at him, "We don't need you, we won without you," it exposed everything. Durant had the rings, but not the respect. He had the numbers, but not the narrative. And that's when the cracks started showing. The backlash haunted him. So, KD orchestrated his move to the Brooklyn Nets with a new squad: Kyrie Irving and James Harden, 3 generational scorers, and all in their primes. If Golden State was too easy, Brooklyn was supposed to be his redemption story. On paper, they were unstoppable. In reality, the Nets organization turned into a soap opera, a circus of instability. Kyrie's off-court drama, Harden's immediate unhappiness, the lack of a clear commanding voice. The locker room was a breeding ground for drama, and KD, the supposed leader, couldn't fix any of it. He just wanted to hoop. Here's the undeniable contrast of leadership styles. Because when LeBron is in the building, he takes control of the situation. He would have called a team meeting, controlled the narrative, the media, and shut down the egos in the locker room. Kobe would have demanded accountability and put every player in their place. But KD, the silent assassin, he let it fester, and the team fell apart. Harden demanded out. In comes an injured Ben Simmons with his own baggage, and the so-called super team ended with 3 generational talents combining for 0 championships and one of the most toxic eras in modern NBA history. Durant's legacy at the moment showed he could not replicate the winning system in Golden State. So he moved on to his next destination. When KD got traded to the Suns, people said, okay, this time it'll work. A new start, a ready-made contender, a loaded roster, with an established star in Devin Booker. Another so-called super team created. The Phoenix Suns had recently just been in the finals, so this was their chance to get over the hump, with the help of Kevin Durant. But once again, the KD curse continues. Too much offense and not enough defense. No ball movement, no chemistry, too many injuries, and bad coaching. They went from high expectations to a brutal, humiliating end. They were swept by the young, hungry Minnesota Timberwolves, led by Anthony Edwards. Phoenix, another structured team with championship aspirations, became another casualty that imploded upon KD's arrival. Now it's really starting to sink in. Durant, at 37 years old, may not ever be able to recreate another championship. His only trophies may come from joining the 73-win Golden State team. Now, here we are, the Houston Rockets, a team on the rise, a franchise stacked with young talent, and Ime Udoka leading the charge, one of the brightest coaches in the league. The Rockets pulled the trigger on the blockbuster trade, bringing in Kevin Durant. Fans went crazy, because on paper it was perfect. KD's championship experience paired with a hungry young core. And with Fred VanVleet running the point, Houston finally had a real shot at contention. But then, boom. Training camp hasn't even started, and VanVleet tears his ACL. Out for the entire season. And just like that, the team's leader is gone. The only other player with championship experience is removed from the equation, and suddenly, Houston's season is hanging by a thread before it even begins. How does this keep happening? There seems to be a cloud that follows Kevin Durant. Think about it. Everywhere KD's gone since OKC, chaos follows. Brooklyn, Phoenix, now Houston. The result? A resume stacked with points, highlights, and championships, but leaves behind a hollow legacy being known as a ring chaser. What if he stayed in OKC? What if he built his own team instead of joining others? What if he learned to lead instead of just hoop? Because the truth is, as a legend, talent just wins games, but it's leadership that wins eras. The truth is, Kevin Durant's story isn't over, but at 37 years old, Houston might be his last real opportunity to rewrite his story. Not as the guy who joined a 73-win team to gain his championships, but as a guy who can win another ring outside the dynasty of the Golden State Warriors. Because without VanVleet, the leadership falls all on him. Can he lead a young team to a championship? Can he command a locker room? Can he show he's more than just a scorer? Because if this Rockets team falls apart like the Suns and Nets did, then maybe it's time to stop calling it coincidence and start calling it the curse of Kevin Durant. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more NBA stories.